Hey, Don here. Well, couldn't resist the cough again. This time I just went ahead and let it play the music, tried to cover it up. Okay, the music should have been working. After last time on my last video, I copied the music over to my new Fedora 28 system. Just the music for, folder with all this music for my videos here. Oh, I mean, it's just some bunch of old recordings I made playing with my guitar. But anyway, it didn't work when I tried to play the music out when I went out. But then I kind of thought, okay, I think the last time I did that, you had to close OBS and open it back up, and then it sees it. The settings are in there because I imported them from the other version of OBS, but on Fedora 23. So anyway, it worked on my test, so it should be okay now. So let's go over to get on the camera too, so I can see the monitor, and switch the KVM over to the ASRock. And let's see how the old virus scan is going. I checked it probably an hour ago. Oh, looks like, why isn't the mouse working? Well, I grabbed the other mouse for the, let me go ahead and check my sound there. That's why I was grabbing it, because I knew I needed to check my sound, make sure my stream sound was good. Grabbed the wrong mouse. I went to a different machine, so I thought I needed another mouse. Now, there's quite a few more in there now. I looked. Looks like there's a couple more since the last time. I put it, I forgot where I put it in the, I think I put it at the top one, or no, I put it at the bottom one of these. There's some new ANDR malware agents, and they're in several different places. Funny, same names, but I'll go through it once it's done scanning on more detail. But anyway, email exploit. Some of them are like, that's in Mozilla Firefox Cache, but it's an email exploit. I would expect it to be in Mozilla Thunderbird email, like trash folders or something, or at least spam folders or something. And then there's a few more down here too. So we'll have plenty to clean out. And then the ones that are heuristics and all that, most of them aren't going to be bad. They're just, it's just that it's saying they potentially could be bad, and you have to look through them and see whether or not like most of them I know that they're part of my system. Like I always, broken executables generally aren't, in Linux files aren't generally broken. That's just the way this Windows virus scanner sees it. Even though it runs on Windows, on Linux, it's still looking for Windows viruses, problems, and malware and stuff. So, I don't know, I think I'll put it down there this time. Get it like that so that I can't accidentally jack up and close that. Still don't have any clue as to how long it'll be. Let's see. I tried to see what folder I was in. There we go. Now, when you click around in there, it gets to where you can't see what folder it's in, but now I can. Okay, it's still on the Seagate expansion drive, which I would expect it to be on there. It's going to definitely take up the majority of the scan time because it's got about 2.5, 3 terabyte of data. The Dell Inspiron 6000 laptop, that's where it's at now, the backup for that. So, which that tells me something, doesn't tell you anything. But anyway, but it doesn't tell me what, like I said, I don't know what, it does not seem to have any rhyme or reason. It doesn't go in alphabetical order through the file systems. So I don't know. Sometimes it seems like it does for a while, and then it jumps to some other alphabet, letter on the other folder letter in the alphabet. So I don't know. But let's go to the desktop again. So I'm going to get back to work on my, I'm kind of listening out of my ear to my server, my IBM server. It sounds like the hard drive is, going bad. I'll get off the desktop for a minute. I don't have the other camera's pointing right at the monitor, or I could show it. And I tried to hurry up and get everything set up so that I was going to grab this camera up here and show and get on the lapel mic and see if I could get the sound on the recording, but it quit. It's done that several times today. It sounds sort of like it's running really fast, but I know the sounds it makes, normally. When it's being accessed quickly, or if there's like I have rootkit scanner run every day. Actually, I think it's like 4 a.m. or something. When that runs, I always hear it. But this sounds like a bearing going bad is what it sounds to me like. And it could be fooling me. It might be the fan. They usually are what make noise. And I was listening in the front, and I thought, boy, that sure sounds like a hard drive to me, making noise. And then I got my head up towards the back, and it was louder, actually. And I thought, okay, maybe it's the fan. But, it just depends on where there's the most holes for the sound to get out, too. So, and plus, the fan does blow. Actually, I swear, when there's a fan blowing and there's sound behind it, I swear it makes that sound louder. And it definitely alters the sound. You can hear the chopping of the blades sometimes, depending on where they are in relation to each other, where the sound's coming from and where the fan is. But I think it makes it a little bit louder, and maybe it'll go a little even further. Maybe I'm all crazy, but I've always thought that. I've noticed it all. Ever since I was an adult, I remember noticing it. I don't know about when I was a kid. I used to play with fans when I was a kid and make different noises with them, And I thought it was kind of neat. I always thought, you can make an instrument out of that, But never did get around to really getting serious about doing that. But because I used to play, I had a cassette recorder, and I had a reel-to-reel recorders, 2 of them before. And then when cassettes came out, I got a cassette recorder when I was a kid growing up. I used to record stuff all the time. And then when I got a teenager, I guess, my grandmother, she let me use her Brownie movie camera, 8mm movie camera. It was a silent movie camera. And then later, when I was about 17, she gave it to me. I still have it. But as I was an adult, when my kids were little, I took some movies of them. But it was by that time the film was hard to find and expensive, real expensive. And so I kind of quit using it, And I don't know. It got to where you really couldn't hardly find film for it at all. And I haven't looked in a long time. I just saw an article that 35mm film was being made again. I didn't know they'd really quit making it. I just figured it was expensive. They said it's being made again, and it's best time to get back into film. So it's popular again. But anyway, I didn't know that one. So let's go to the desktop, and of course, 35mm film is for still cameras, not movie cameras. But that was a Kodak. No, that was a Brownie. Well, I think Brownie was a Kodak wind-up movie camera. You didn't have batteries. You could take, that's one thing I always thought that's so cool about something like that. It didn't have any batteries. It's just a spring in there. You wind it up and it makes it run. Yeah, of course, you run out of film. I would get like 10 minutes out of each roll of film, and that's it. But it didn't need any batteries. It didn't have any electronics to go bad. And I'm sure if I went, it's in the garage, and if I found that box and got it out, I'm sure I could wind it up and it'd go. But anyway, sidetracks. Yep, it's quiet now, that server. So I didn't get, I just had to set everything up the way I always set it up. If I would have just turned on my recorder, even if I wasn't streaming, I could have probably tried to get the sound. I just wanted to. It's not like it's really important. The only important thing is if something's going bad, I'm going to have to deal with it. So I may have another sidetrack. I thought, well, if I'm going to have to do it, I might as well make a video of it. But anyway, okay. Yeah, let me just open this up now. What did I finally decided. I still can't. Let me see. I can't believe they changed that. You can't click on that right there. That used to be a button. It still looks like a button. Click on that and change file type options. It says it right there. Why doesn't that work? They've done something. Maybe in the settings I could turn it back on or something, but it used to be I never had to do anything. It just worked. So I can still go open with and pick from what shows up. And K-Ride, I was going through this and I figured out a couple of things. K-Ride is kind of, I don't know that it's actually better in this for this particular instance, but it's definitely one I'm used to. So, okay. No match. Okay, no match. There's only four things in there. No match argument for Kdenlive. Okay. These are the ones that I want to find out. Well, I want to take them out of my script for one thing. Okay, and each one, you can see that's one thing I like, the yellow highlights. Some of the other text editors do that too, but so each one of those, and then I don't know why that looked for that. I'm not quite sure. It's just a note at the end of all these other installs. But record my desktop. It says no match for group. record my desktop. Now, I didn't purposely put in a group record my desktop. And I went and looked for it. Can't type. Okay, there it is right there. It's actually, there is a, oops, it made it go all the way. Okay, no match for argument GTK record my desktop. Okay, but down there, it's actually below this, but, so I don't know. That, see, that to me, that I believe is, maybe that is part of what it's fixing to do instead of what it already did. I thought this was part of what it was fixing to do. Maybe that makes more sense. But it did install Froze. I never even heard of it. FROS, record my desktop. But there is no GUI app called record my desktop. So I could get in the terminal and just, try typing Froze, record my desktop, or just record my desktop. It'd probably open it up in the terminal. And oh, that reminds me, the previous video, what am I doing now? I don't want to edit this thing. I did a bunch. I was just like, what are you doing? Because I thought it was a read-only document. I may have to close it. There we go. Now I'm back to where I was. Thought I was in the search deal. And also when I saw it doing that, I was like, what? I kept holding down the back key because I thought, well, this is a read-only document. Why is it doing that? But it's not. It's just a plain text file opened up in KWrite, so I can edit it. So if I was in the viewer in the Crusader file viewer, then I wouldn't be able to edit it. Sometimes that's a good thing if you're afraid you're going to mess up a document. But I mean, it's not like it's a real big deal with this one. But anyway, I think I'll have to just go down to the bottom. I don't remember exactly what it is. I figured out why the group, I even tried to figure out, okay, why did my, DNF, I went ahead and ran that command. I found it from previous times of running it, DNFY group install editors. Oh, that's the install. Here it is. Okay, so I asked DNF group info editors, and it came up and it said, a group. Of course, I always just kind of skip that. That just tells about the metadata expiration check and stuff, making sure everything's right on the data it's reading and stuff. Okay, description, sometimes called text editors, programs to allow you to create, edit text files. This includes Emacs and BY. Okay, now optional packages is what I missed. For some reason it just listed that in the after the installation. So these are optional. These are not the ones that come in it. So evidently, now, okay, here we go. Because I ran the command a couple more times, or maybe that is right. Oh, that's this is the last one that was ran just after running my script. Let's see. Yeah. So where is the? Trying to figure out. Well, anyway, I'm kind of losing. It's always hard to find my place again in these things. But it marking packages as installed by the group, Vim enhanced. So that's a command line Vim editor. Vim is another one. That's all it installed. And it says complete. So evidently that's all it's in that group other than optional. And I guess you could put a command like saying somehow add all the optional. I don't want all of those anyway. I wouldn't mind leaf pad. That's another GUI, but it's okay. But actually the ones I have I think I like better. So unless I get it in one of the other groups, I'm not going to go after it. And I used to use the command. It's always good to have one command line text editor that you can know how to use, because sometimes you have to edit things in the command line. If your GUI is broken and you want to fix it and you need to edit a config file, that'll save you. And it's better to already have it than to have to try to remember it and install it, when your GUI is broken. So your graphic user interface. So it's good to have something. And I can't remember which one is the one that I was able to use the easiest, but I don't really want a whole bunch of them just for that I won't really hardly ever use. But I think Vim is the one I usually was able to use. And Vim Enhanced, it's got more features, and I think it makes it easier to use. I'm a, let's see. Now, right now, I'm trying to think of what. First, I just want to make sure I get my script fixed up before I go into any more of like trying them out. And see, I thought it was saying these were all installed, so I tried to run them, and they wouldn't run. Well, it says not there. Command not found. Yeah, because they didn't actually get installed. They were optional. That's what I'm trying to say. And then when I went down here and tested, I was still trying to figure out which way. Well, since I wasn't sure that command even worked right, I was like, okay, maybe I did it wrong. Maybe the Y has to be at the end, like they did in the example I found on a website. That does that automatically. So I ran it that way, and then I tried it the way I actually did have it in the script. It doesn't give any errors. It just says it's already installed. And then I tried it again the way they do it. I guess I just forgot that I'd already done it up there. Oh, and I also did it with quotation marks around editors because I thought you might need that to signify that it's a group, even though it's the one word. But it seems to be happy either way. Oh, that's why I did it. Actually, I only did it once without the quotation marks. But it never gave an error. It just said already installed. Dependency resolved, nothing to do. So that was the story there. I just didn't see it right, And then what that was, I thought I was. Why am I way up at the top of the script? Oh, I guess I must have somehow. I don't know how I got back up there. It jumped up there and I didn't see it because I thought I was at the bottom. Yeah, I was at the bottom and now I'm at the top, and I didn't drag it that far. I don't know. I guess the searcher did that for me because it's still sitting there. But yeah, the first thing I want to do then is go and find these ones that I have in my script that I need to take out. And I also want to find out if there's I'll probably end up getting Kdenlive if I just add, let me go ahead and open up the actual script. I went ahead and combined those back. I just put them all in the folder with the dashes in the name so that if I do have to hand work my way back into that folder again, I won't have any trouble. I don't want to have two folders. I'd end up confusing myself. So that was the output file, and this is my script right here. Yeah, I'm going to open that with kwrite. It really bugs me not being able to really quickly change which program that it opens up with, and this is just in Crusader. Now I can go to, but see, it doesn't. I don't think it's gonna. It didn't used to unless it's changed. It doesn't. When you set what programs, let's just go look. I'm mumbling and not making sense. I guess it's going to be up here. Preferred applications. Let me see my preview. I'm going to check my sound and everything on my preview right quick. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll pause it. Make that machine doesn't handle running for very long periods of time. Okay, so multimedia. I have made viewer. I like GwenView. That's what I want. And it's from the player. I'll set it to VLC, and then if it can't, VLC can't play it, then I'll use another one. Text editor. I'm going to go ahead and change it to kwrite now. Do I have another terminal yet? Console. Well, I used to use console as my default terminal. So now I tried it. I can open things. That's what I needed in order to be able to open things here in Crusader in the terminal. The console got installed automatically by whatever it was, group I was doing. File manager, you still won't see. I don't know what it is to change things, but in my Fedora, I don't think it was my Fedora 23. I think it was like Fedora 26 or 27. I could see Crusader and add it and make it be my preferred file manager. And that I like that. Actually, I think it was that way in 23. I don't know how that managed to happen, but I can't change it. There's nothing there for me to change it to. Of course, I don't want WinView. That's an image viewer as a file manager. And Office, right now I don't have but one real PDF viewer, and that's the way I want that. Accessibility, I don't turn that on because it makes your screen do weird things and get big when you don't want it to and stuff. And it's kind of hard to remember how to get out because it's usually keyboard shortcuts. And it's running processes at the start. Well, for it to work right, I mean, for you to actually make it work, you got to do that. And I don't want to do that. Can't see as good as I used to, but I don't quite need that yet. So that's as much as I can set up. But anyway, now to Kwrite, I'll probably have to. I don't think it'll work. Of course, with the shell script, I don't know if it'll do that anyway. Yeah, see, I think if you close Kden Live, if you got it on the brain, if you close Crusader and open it back up, I think then it might do it. And then again, maybe not. Maybe you're going to have to set it the way I used to. Every time it, I don't think a reboot would really make any difference, but no, it still says Pluma, so I don't know. And you can't. That just makes me mad. I don't know what's the deal with that. I don't feel like messing with it. I'm trying to do other things, you know. So I'm going to open it with Kwrite. That's my whole, what I'm trying to get out here. Move it over there, I guess. Okay. Now the first thing, Kden Live. Okay. No match for Kden Live. So, and I was thinking I would go look for it in the DNF, but now I realize, you know, that's not one that I think I'll get it in the audio video groups from those groups. So I'm just going to delete it. This is my actual script. And the update, I thought, did the update work or not? Well, I saw something that in that other part of my script that led me to believe, yeah, it did. Here's what I ran. Okay, here's something I forgot to mention. Okay, here's where I finally got it to run because I finally typed everything right. And then it says, I think it's calling up the script, and it said, yeah, and it says line 1, bin bash. That was the error I saw that went by, and I never found it again. Bin bash, no such file or directory. Now, I started noticing that in the newer versions after Fedora 23, that error, but it still runs. And so I took it out of one of my scripts, and it wouldn't run. It broke it. So what I guess is that the program bash, I think bash, you've heard of bash scripts. I think there's a bash terminal. So I think it's looking for bin is where files would be, some program files could be, you know, executables would be sometimes. So I think it's looking for bin bash, and it's either use, you know, it's like, okay, we couldn't find bin bash, so we'll use whatever other terminal is available, or it's in another directory. If bash was in another directory, why don't we go look for it? Bin bash, you can go look. Because I've been meaning to. Okay, see, there we go, bash. Well, it's there. There's bash right there. And they always call it, there's different kinds, I guess there's different kinds of script, but a bash script would be one that's meant to run in bash, which I guess is what my original, let's see if we can view that. Okay, this is, yeah, we don't want to make sure we don't want to edit it or anything. It's citizen read-only mode. It would break it, that's what that note's saying. But see, this is a program. And it's all in code of some sort. It's not like Python or anything that you can, human readable. So I don't know. Well, I'm not going to weather, I guess, because I don't know enough about programming, but I don't know why does it give that error when bin bash is there? It said, and it does work. It says no such file or directory, but it is there. So I don't know, but it works. So I don't have a clue. So I'm not going to go any further with that. With my guessing. That does kind of tell me that's why it actually runs, because it really is there, but why does it throw an error but then go ahead and run? Because it didn't used to. I'm sure there's a way to fix that if you knew what to write in there, but I don't. I learned that just a little snippet of code to make a script with, actually I learned the part bin bash init, and then you went straight to, well, it was yum, y install, skip broken. That was the part I learned. First I just learned like y install, or yum install, and then I learned to add the y, then I learned to add the skip broken to keep it from stopping if there's something wrong. But let me get I'm still, I keep going back and forth. Well, I tried it both ways. I keep worrying about changing that y from over here to the right of everything like that was in that example to over here, even though it's always worked like that. See, DNF y install it. That's the way I was actually learned to do it. I never knew you could put it after, But I keep thinking, what if I go and do all of these and then I get a bunch of errors? So I keep thinking maybe I should go that way. But then I think, well, okay. So anyway, I think that's all of the no match. Let's go back to no match. Okay, we want to get rid of Kden Live. We did that. And now we want to get rid of GTK record my desktop. Let's go over here to this script and find it in there. There it is. Oh, you can't just hit delete. Huh. And then when you do that, it unselects it. I wonder. I'll go ahead and do it now. But I'm wondering if Pluma might actually be better, because I remember there was some cool. Let me try it and see. I can always just get back in there. Okay, so I did that. Now I'm going to open this. Usually I put the one I'm working on. Let's go to 4, but that one, no, not 4, 5. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I don't. Usually I put the one I'm reading from over there and the one I'm working in on the left. So let's do that. I know, I'm weird. Okay, so yeah, let's just double click and open it up, I guess. Huh? Why not? Okay, we'll say open. Now it opens with Puma. Why can't it just double click and open? Like, oh, maybe because it's trying to run. Of course, when you double click it like that, it's executable. So it was trying to run. What did it do? Could not start. I wasn't reading it. So-and-so, 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 terminal. Wow. Oh, it couldn't start it for whatever reason, which I'm glad it didn't. Yeah, if you double click on a script, it's going to try to run. Usually it'll ask you, what do you want to do? Depending on the file manager, I guess. I don't know why it couldn't run it, but yeah, if I wanted to run it, I would do this, and I would say start terminal here. And now it'll work because now I have console. And I got off track. Console I used to like because you can say save output as. And I started making it my default terminal or console. That's two synonyms, or kind of, I guess. But I found out it had kind of a limited. It doesn't keep everything. Like if I run a long script, even the one that I ran earlier today, it probably wouldn't get it all, and so you don't get everything you do. So make terminal does, but you have. But there's another one I was using Fedora 23 now. I don't know how I'll find it because I probably had 5 terminals on there. There's another one I was using. Actually, I thought it was Mate Terminal. Maybe it was Genome Terminal, but it had a save output as in it, and it also would just take as many. I never saw it say no, I can't take that many characters. So that's the one I've been using, and now I don't remember which one it was. So now I want very secure FTPD. That is not found that way. And let's see. There it is. Now can I? No, you can't. It's still the same thing. Still stays yellow. So there's like back and forth. This one stays up there, but you can work. You can leave it up there and work, with it like that, and you can hit save. You can do everything. But well, one thing it doesn't do, if you want to go back up, then the K-Write, whichever one I had, K-Write has up and down arrows, and it keeps it down there kind of out of your way too. The search. Only thing is sometimes you forget it's there, and then you confuse yourself. But otherwise, you can go up and down just like by hitting the buttons. I like that. So I don't know. I'm just can't. Too many choices, huh? So I think I'll use the same one for everything, so I won't confuse. I think that'll confuse me. So let's open with, and it's also the one I've been using for the last several years. So let's don't try to teach an old dog new tricks right this minute, because no. I forgot the word I was looking for. I need to go up anyway. It's not. Oh, no. Am I in the wrong file or something? That's my script. Oh, I am in the wrong file. Okay. That's the problem. No match. That's what I'm looking for. So I just got rid of very secure FTPD, and see if I need to know these names, I'll be able to find them again in here. I'm just thinking, well, how am I going to know these names? There's Ocala. You can't just hit delete. It's highlighted, and it makes you say, well, why can't I just hit delete? But you can't. It just doesn't work that way. Okay, so and then App Finder. Now, I don't know what, I guess it's called, maybe it's called XFCE App Finder. I bet it is. But I'll get that when I install the XFCE desktop. I keep hitting enter because it just looks like that's what I should be able to do. Okay, I'm going to have to search through here and see if I've got any extra spaces and stuff. Yeah, no match for record my desktop. I still don't understand why. Maybe, okay, this is terminal output. Complete. Okay, and then last expiration date. But record my desktop, it's up there, but that already, that's way up there from where we were. See, we're jumping almost to the bottom. So I don't really get it. It's not up in here, so it wasn't trying to install it up in there. All I can guess is it threw the error up before instead of after, which generally it's like be after. What were we looking for up here? Installed. So we're way, whole long list. Way long list. What it was doing there. Okay, running a transaction check, so we're still not trying to figure out if it was a particular group it was installing or what. See, 378 megabytes. Okay. maybe it's so far because it's just that much stuff in what I gave it to do. That's all I can figure. I mean, it's not that important. Maybe it was, well, maybe it was looking from record my desktop it was trying to automatically find out what I was looking for. It'll do that with repos. I didn't think it really did that with programs. But then, coincidentally, I think, I just can't see. So you got to see the beginning of the group. I guess that's the beginning of it right there. It starts out, it says group, and then it says this is the group, and here's what's in it, and then it tells you the package sizes, install packages. So yeah, and then, yeah, okay. Install system, so complete, last. Yeah, see, there's no errors there. So that the errors are at the bottom of it. So that's what I thought. So it's just saying that somehow it was still looking for record my desktop, but then coincidentally, coincidentally, froze record my desktop was part of this group. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to understand it so I'll know better how to, do my scripts and everything. Okay, so I think that's all the stuff I need to go through and learn. I'm just either gonna close that one now. I'm just either going to do it like this, or I'm going to do it like this. And I did not see. I tried. I mean, I actually tried running this one every which way, and it never said any squawking whatsoever. It just said it's done. So I think I'll do it like that. And then all I have to do is type the quotation marks on each group name. And when it's a single word, it looks like you don't really have to have the quotation marks, but I'm going to do it because it makes it turn red and makes you see it, and it lets you know that's when I'm installing. Of course, the DNF in front of it turns blue, which is nice too. I really like how these. I guess I don't know. Is Kwrite the only one that does that? It might be because it was that way in my other scripts. So I don't know if Kwrite's the one that does that or what, but I like it. And I don't have to worry about those extra 4 spaces. I was worried about that. I could probably put 4 spaces in front of these and make it look more even, but I kind of like it just like that, because that tells me, this is the beginning of my script, and that's the ones I did, and then, I want to search for spaces, okay, make sure, I want to search for 2 spaces, let's see, yeah, see, okay, if you start seeing them. But you don't see any 2 spaces. Yeah, there's some down there. Okay, so there aren't any double spaces in my little list. I want to make sure I didn't jack that part up. Okay, so anyway, now I know right where my groups stuff begins, Let's see. I do want to. I think it's about time to restart that thing and check. It really is nice to leave it playing, then all I have to do is unmute it. But okay, available environment groups, okay, and okay, it reloaded. Now let me check the sound. Now I'm gonna go through here and just do the ones I want to do. Okay, Fedora custom operating system. I wonder what that is. I don't even know. Minimal install. Of course, I already have Fedora Mate Compiz installed. Fedora with Mate Desktop Compiz is like the effects stuff. So I don't want to add anything else to that other than, those are desktops. Minimal install. That's a whole system. I guess I don't know. If that might not even have a desktop. I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't want that. Fedora server, if you wanted to convert your system to a server, you could do that, and you may have everything you need. I started with Fedora 23. I started with the server edition, and then I was able to pick and choose different parts, features of the server that I wanted, but it had no GUI. And I put, I think I put Mate on it first, and then I put XFCE because Mate was just too much, needed too many resources for that IBM single core. It's a 2.5 gigahertz, but it's a single core. It didn't have 2 gig RAM at the time, but it does now. But it'll run. Whoops, about to yank my little lapel mic off. Got my thumb hung on it. Then I banged my elbow on my desk, and then I knocked the SM58 over. Moved it, not knocked it over. Didn't knock. Anyway, okay, I think I'm back. So anyway, it was really hard to figure out. I had to find an article finally. It took me a while to find a way to install the desktops on a server that's already set up, but I finally did do it. Of course, I had to do it all in the command line. That's all you had, But I did do it. But I don't know. Did I ever learn? I remember I did it in a way that seemed like it would work. Like, say, just DNF install Mate, DNF install Mate desktop as a group like that. And it did it, but you still didn't have a graphic user interface. You had to run you didn't have to go edit files manually, but you had to run some commands. I don't remember what they are. I did make a video. Well, I made a video about it, but it didn't work well. Something went wrong in my video. And I think the part, you can hear me talking about it, but the part where you see, like I'm doing right now on the desktop video, part where you see me actually doing it is, it lost so many frames. It's not showing what I'm talking about. I describe it, but you don't see it. But it is there. And some of my older, from back in Fedora 23. But anyway, the servers, I don't think any of the Fedora server editions have come with desktops. So you might, the reason I'm rambling about it, you might want to start with your favorite desktop and then just turn it into a server. Might actually turn out. That's the way I used to do it. They didn't used to have, a Fedora server edition, and I always wish they did because I always wanted to build a Fedora server, and I had done it on my Fedora 14 system, but I had a lot of extra junk, and I wasn't sure how secure it was, if I had my security right. That's the thing you want. If they build one up for you, then it's going to have all security working and set up right. And that's the most important thing. I ran for about probably 5 years an RPM-based server distro called Chaos, C-A-O-S, capital letters. And it was great, and it just never failed. I never had any trouble with it, but it finally got to where they quit supporting it and they quit updating it. And it was running on sorry to say a 486. It was running on a 450 megahertz Dell. It's under my feet. It's one of those lay down desktop computers, a real desktop computer, the kind you used to set your monitor on top of. And it's 450 megahertz. Ran it just fine. It had a graphic user interface. It had Genome 2 on it. And I went blank. So anyway, I ran it for years until they quit supporting it. Okay, so yeah, cloud server workstation. That would be the one with the Genome 3. So I wouldn't, and for sure wouldn't put that on along with Mate desktop because they're going to conflict with each other. I've done it before, and I wished I had. Now there's KDE. I keep debating about whether I want to put that on there or not. The whole thing. It's definitely a quick way to get everything to make all your KDE stuff work right, but it seems that when it's on there, I don't know if it's still that way or not, but when I used to do it all the time, I had trouble with any time I wanted to change the themes of any apps that came from KDE. I had to go into KDE and change the theme in there, and I always had trouble remembering how to do it. I think I'll skip it for now. But this one, yeah, I had deactivated that one because I wasn't sure. I didn't want to wait. That's why I was looking like, well, where's my XFCE stuff, you know? Where's my app finder and all that? And I don't need to manually install app finder. If I install XFCE desktop, I'll get it. So I commented it out because I thought it would take too long. Probably wouldn't take all that long, but I'm doing it now. This is going to be for real. And LXDE is a good desktop. It's lightweight. It's been several, I think it's been before Fedora 23 since I used it. And I used to use it, and I liked it better than XFCE because it had more features, but it was kind of more like Mate, or more like Genome 2, really. But it also lacked some features that started bugging. I love the XFCE App Finder and some other things, and it progressed to the point that, and I think it might be a little more lightweight than LXDE, so I don't use it anymore, but I liked it. And then Cinnamon, I don't know, I put it on. It was on my Fedora 23, but I had about 3 desktops on it, and just to see what they were like. But you know, the more stuff you install, generally I start kind of lean, and then I get more and more and more, and then the machine slows down little by little because there's always some processes that run along with, especially extra desktops. That are always going to be running, and it's really hard to get them out of there and to even find them, to even know what they are, what they're for, you know. And so it ends up slowing your machine down. So I'm going to try to not overdo it. Sugar is really it's kind of designed for children, I think. It's what I would consider it. It looks like 3rd grade art, you know. So I don't care for it for myself. And then development and creative workstation. Yes. Whoops. Control B. Get rid of all the extra spaces. Just want one in there, and then put that in. See how it's kind of like it's watching that you're writing a script. I guess it knows you're writing. Oh, that's right. Some of these know. That's one thing I noticed about that Puma or whatever it was. Yeah, this one has. See, you can sit there. You can actually click comment, uncomment, uppercase. These things are set up for writing scripts. The other one had, what kind of script are you working on? And it was set to SH script. That was pretty cool. But I don't think it did the coloring because before I had KWrite, I wasn't seeing that yesterday and earlier today. Web server, no. But yeah, I'm going to do DNFY group install because I'm almost certain that's fine. I am certain, but I get to doubting because I think, what if I'm making a mistake? But everything I've tried it both. You know, I tried that in one command every which way, and it worked every time, no matter which way I had it. It didn't give any squawks. So, and it just said, of course, it's already installed. You don't need to do it again. Infrastructure server, no. Basic desktop. I don't guess we need that. We've got a desktop. Okay, now installed groups. Okay, so we don't need to redo those. These are all output from running, you know, the group DNF group list command. That's what this is. Okay, and that one there, I'm just going to leave it as it is. I don't guess it matters, unless it's going to make me. I'm going to change it because then I'll see if it gives me any kind of output. Change it to being like the rest of them. And plus, it won't throw me off every time I look at my script. If it does something different, hopefully I'm not going to, you know, I don't want to run it again. And, well, if it breaks anything, then it should just not do anything, you know. Okay, Ansible node. I tried to learn that. That is the coolest way to administrate other machines, you know, like on your network remotely. But it's also really complicated to learn. And I just couldn't. It was too much. I really wanted to. Maybe one day. Do a lot of hand work on editing config files and stuff. And you have to learn a new type of config files. Okay, audio production. A lot of cool stuff in there. See this? You see, I can just paste that in there and then put the quotation marks on the other part. Authoring and publishing. Yeah, it's going to be worth it. Yeah, no, I said lean. This isn't going to be lean. It's going to be a full-featured computer. Books and guides. Those can save your tail Save your butt when if you're not able to get online and you're trying to figure out what's wrong. Development tools. Well, I don't do development, but I use IDEs sometimes for like Raspberry Pi or Arduino or Python on the to run on the computer and stuff. Cloud infrastructure, cloud management, no. Compiz. I've got Mate Compiz, so I'm not gonna add. I don't need any. I think I've got all the desktop effects I need. Container management, no, I'm not gonna run any of that on here. Containers, I wanted to learn about them and stuff, but development tools and libraries, I don't guess so. D-development, yeah. Design suite, yeah, that would be. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That's going to be your graphics apps like, which I may already have. Probably already have GIMP on here. No, we don't. So should be getting GIMP, the graphics editor. I didn't have WinView until I ran one of those groups. Oh, I think I've got it typed in up there. That's why I have WinView. It's up there. I put it in the list. Development tools. Can't remember if there's anything in there that I know how to use. Don't think so necessarily. Domain membership, no. Fedora Eclipse. I think I tried that. I never did see anything. That's something I don't really know a lot about. Editors, that didn't give me anything. It just gave one editor. Okay. Educational software is good. I mean, it's not something I use all the time, but it has some interesting things like, excuse me, educational software has, well, it has math, which I'm not good at, but it has some stuff about, what am I trying to say? It has one about, is it called Stellarium? There's one where you can map the planets and stuff, and it's just fun. It's almost, it's just fun to look at and learn stuff from it. But anyway, it's good. And electronic lab, yeah, for me, that's more for designing circuit boards and stuff, but I think it might have one or two IDEs in it too. Like, it might have some things that can write Arduino sketches and stuff like that. Because, let's see, yeah, I think I can say this and be right. Arduino sketches, I don't know why, I saw somebody or saw a video or read something. So I don't know why they call it Arduino sketch. Oh, I know what it was. A Dave EEV blog, and he's the best electronics guy best teacher I've ever watched for me. And he, Dave Jones, he makes videos on YouTube, and he's an electronics guy from way back. Like, he's an engineer. He got his degree back in like the late 70s or early 80s or something. And anyway, he had really never played with an Arduino, and he got one day, and he goes, well, this is just C code. I don't know why they call it a sketch. It's just confusing. And I was like, well, yeah, that was confusing to me because I was wondering what kind of code is it. Didn't know. I thought, well, it's kind of like Python to me because I took a Python class and I'd seen that. But he said it's C code. So, point being, Electronics Lab has some, I believe it has a couple of programs to do things like that, simple stuff. Now, full-blown IDEs, actually, I generally have to go find them and install them. I don't think they're going to be in any of these groups. Free IPA server. And I say, I've had a server of my own running for years. When did I start running the server? At least I keep saying 5 years, but that was probably, I started saying that 2 or 3 years ago, so it's been a while. Run my website on my own server, and it's, and I like to learn about it, and once in a while I'll try to learn some more in-depth stuff or new stuff. And so I have installed some of these things before, like on my Fedora 23, I installed 2 or 3 of those things I just passed up to do with servers, and I never did figure them out. There's one thing, I don't guess I saw it, domain, or is it? I don't know, but there's a domain, I can't say the right words. Anyway, so that I have to use a redirect. I'm not going to go into all that. Something to do with domains, so that your server will, when somebody types in bishopco.com, my server will answer, no matter what my IP address is, and my from my ISP, and that's what I would like to do, set up. Okay, and I don't want headless management. Mate applications, yeah, I have Mate desktop, and there's some extra applications that may not be on here. I remember some of this from doing it in Fedora 23. Medical applications, those are pretty handy. Most of them are like kind of serious medical applications like a doctor would use, but I found one that I set it up and played with it. You could really keep superb medical and medication records for yourself, but it is actually for doctors and hospitals to use. But you could really set it up in a way that they would understand, because it's lined out the way they may be using a proprietary one instead of an open source one, but it's laid out the way. If you ever look on their computer, it's laid out like that. I never did get into putting all my information in it because that's too much work. But what is that? Milky Mist. I don't know what Milky Mist is. Network servers, no. Office and productivity, yes. And that'll give you some things besides just LibreOffice that you might really be, like you have. Okay, Python Classroom. I'm going to do that. I got a feeling that's going to teach you some Python. I might do that. They recommend. The reason I took the Python class is when the Google Udacity Online University first opened up, they recommended everybody take that that's new to programming. They said it's the easiest one to learn, and it'll run on almost any kind of hardware. And I can see why they said that. The Python science would be in depth. And robotics, I put that on there before, and saw some cool apps that I wanted to try out. Oh, science, that would be like math science. Yeah, it's not about computer science; it's about math. I remember now. But actually, programming is basically math, and that's why I'm not good at it, because I'm not good at math. RPM development tools, those are actually, if I remember right, if you want to make tools and all that, so you can install when it's not in the repos straight from. It can help you turn it into an RPM so you can install it that way. Anyway, well, I don't know enough to. Security Lab, yeah, that's pretty good. May get more than I want out of that, but that would be a lot of the stuff, if not all the stuff that's on Fedora Live Security. I think it's not all of it. Yeah, it's not. It's just kind of, I've done it before. I put it on before. It's just kind of the most commonly used stuff. Text-based internet. They're very small amount of apps, but Lynx, you ever heard of Lynx web browser? It's a text-based web browser. Sometimes it's actually useful. Window managers. I don't think we need new window managers. Genome desktop environment. Okay, well, that was up there. Well, it's going to be graphical internet. Well, I think I've got the I don't know how to meet. I don't know. I guess I could run the command and see what's in there. I'm really curious what's in there. Where's that command? Let's see. I have to get into here again. Why is that like that? Looks like it's .dnf group command. Kate swap. What? Kate swap? Let's look at the properties on that. You can't really see it that way. SH Kate swap. I don't know if that's because, it may be in there because I tried to execute it. I don't think it's doing that just because I'm editing the file. But that's my script. Just remembered I probably haven't hit save in a long time. So let's get that graphical internet. I'm going to need that. And I need that think this is the one. Test run, yeah, my test run file. Now I think I'll just open up a terminal right here. I haven't set up my apps the way I like them, so none of my buttons are up there or anything that I need. But let's see. First, there's nothing. I guess it doesn't remember. Oh well, this is a different terminal. Oh, there we go. TeamViewer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I guess it does work. Group. I gotta look. I don't know. Down here at the bottom, I was running that group check. DNF group, not install, but list. I want list group. DNF group info editors. DNF group info editors. Okay. Group GRUP info. I'm going to see if I can type it. DNF group. Oh, it's not there. Now, I have to use the mouse to paste from. There we go. Now, but I have to put the. I keep forgetting. Oops. Italics. I keep feeling like I'm saying the word right one time and wrong one time, and I can't remember which way is right. DNF group info graphical internet. Taking a bit to run, but it should. Are you installing it? Shouldn't be. Oh, it's in Fedora 28 x64 updates. Group info. No, I don't think I messed up. I think it's just going to have to do that in order to get the information. If I'm installing it, well, you can't do that without being a super user. And I didn't do that. On a low Wi-Fi. I didn't remember it. Looks like it's downloading the files to me. Or maybe it's checking for updates. That's what it says. It just says updates. Okay, RPM Fusion. Does it have to do that before it can give you the info or something? Okay, I guess it did. Whoa, that is a lot of stuff. So, but I did get it typed right, didn't I? I'm going to copy it so I'll have a file name. I'm going to save it so I won't have to run it again. But it did, it checked for RPM Fusion for updates. It checks, it was all RPM Fusion, free and non-free, and updates. That's what it checked in. Okay, graphical internet, Amule, Azurus, Aurora, Bluefish. Okay, Dillo, that's another web browser. Ikiga is another web browser. Firefox, GFTP. I think it's just overkill there. I don't think I need all of that. You don't want some stuff that does the same thing that you'll never. Media, remember the name, and yeah, you do want to show some restraint with installing these groups. You're going to do what I was saying. You're going to have your system. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to put it in here in the scripts so that now you can't have those in your. Terminal output. There we go. That should work. If I was really going to make that a script and run it, I wouldn't leave spaces in the file name. No, that would usually cause trouble. Did I? Yeah, I don't have spaces in my. By the way, do I have spaces in it? Okay. Yeah, I had closed that and then opened it back up to get that command. Okay. Now, no, I don't want that one. Very interesting, but I don't want that one. Now I need my little section of commands back. Yeah, I really like the color coding, and I don't think those other apps did that. Graphical Internet, KDE, there it is again, KDE, K desktop environment. It's written out differently, but games, I don't want, just blanket games. Sound and video, yes. Yeah, and I really like, because see if I mess up, it shows me there's something wrong in my syntax there. So if I were to mess up, I kind of wish I didn't have all those spaces. They're bugging me, but that's all right. I just having to tab through them, or not tab, but arrow through them. Okay, now what do we got? DNF group, group info genome. Okay, so let's just see. I don't think there's going to be something in here that I want to, but it will tell me what's in it. Yeah, group list v hidden. Now these are the hidden groups. There may be some new things in here. DNF group list genome. I don't know. Oh, that's right. They said run this command and you'll see in that article, and it said, see, you don't get nothing. You have to. I was been so long since I'd read that article. I was just following each command. I didn't need that in here, but that's fine. Okay, so what you do to get, you need to want to know the hidden groups. You do DNF group list v hidden, and it shows loaded plugins. Okay, DNF. Cache, repo, cache, updates. Trying to figure out, are we there yet? Not found. Repo cache, not found. RPM. Oh, it's going and looking at the. Oh, it's looking through every repo that I have. Hidden groups in my repos, including, not just the Fedora repos, but all my repos. Okay. RPM Fusion. See, well, there's different ones. I don't have them all enabled. It's looking at everything in your repos list, I think. Yeah. Okay. So then, repo using cache, not found. Missing file. YAML, wonder why. Okay, and then group persister, MD, available environment groups. Okay, now we're there. Let's go. It's going to be, I think it's going to be some of them that were actually not hidden. They were up there. Custom operating system. Now see, it's got it in parentheses, custom environment right after it, but we saw that earlier. It just didn't have the parentheses. Minimal install, see, that was at the very beginning, but some of them, I don't know. It shows, I guess the thing is, it shows all of them, including the hidden ones, I guess. I'm not going to do KDE now. If I change my mind, I can always just do it, or I can change my script and run it again, and it won't hurt a thing. Just make it take a little longer, checking all my stuff I put in there. But sugar, web server, but I'm going to keep on going and looking at every line because I want to make sure I get everything. Anaconda tools, that's what Fedora uses to install Fedora with. So, but I'm not, I don't think I'll need that on there. It'd be good if you were going to try to build your own distro, like I was talking about how I really would like to build me a virus rescue system based on Fedora so it could mount LVM file systems. But base X, don't know what it is. Dial-up networking, that can actually be, oh wait, this machine don't have a modem, so it won't matter. Machines that have a modem, that would be good to have. Of course, it does help to be able to read. I have fax files that need to be read sometimes. I want to know what they are. Now, okay, since they have this in there, I'm going to have to comment out that part. You don't want that part that's in parentheses. So, you want to put italics around the actual name of the group and then comment out that dial-up note. I know I figured that out last time. That's what you need to do. Dest guest desktop agents. Now, I'm not quite sure what I would do with that. Input methods. Now that's, I don't think I'll do that because I think it will just add a bunch of confusion to me trying to look through the settings. Everything I use works well. So, you know, that could be other. Now, if you try to do something else, like if you're really getting into some, you know, you're playing with Python or something, or whatever, Arduino or something like that, and you wanted to use a touchscreen on the Arduino and you wanted it to talk to your computer somehow, that, I don't know. I'm just guessing at what you might do with that. I already have LibreOffice. Keep thinking maybe I ought to just run it again to make sure I got everything in its group. If I was going to do that, I'd rather do the one up higher so that I don't get confused. Maybe I should. I just hate to go back up to the top. I'm a long ways from the bottom here. But, oh, here's what we can do. Libre, now I'll go up. There it is. That wasn't so hard after all. I said to myself earlier, oh, I've already got that, but there may be some other nice tools that are not on here because that's not what Fedora chose to do. But the LibreOffice group, the whole thing, may have something that I want. I don't think it will give me too much since it's only from LibreOffice. I left my preview playing but never did listen to it, I don't think. But I did just now. Okay, so LibreOffice. And now I'm back where I was, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So, and hit escape, you can get rid of that searcher because sometimes that will, you'll be in there and you won't know it. Okay. LibreOffice, Mate, Desktop. See, a lot of this is Common Network Manager submodules. Well, that's another thing that could be useful but could cause you some trouble with more tools than you know what to do with. So try to remember. Yeah, see, I don't. The thing is, sometimes I say, well, if I don't put them in now, I won't remember them, and I probably won't. But you know, if I end up needing more control, really, it'd be on the server where I would need that. If I can, you know, remember to go back and put that, you know, uncomment that one and set it up, then that might be a good thing. Printing support, well, yeah. I don't know what I would be. Hope maybe it won't be too much stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking. I mean, well, you might have like print to PDF. It would automatically give you a good print to PDF program and stuff like that. So yeah, let's go ahead. Okay. I'm going to have a lot on here. I hope I don't slow the machine down. Standard. Multimedia. Yay. That's one that it will probably have duplicate apps from the some of the other stuff, but it won't hurt because if it's the same app, it just won't install it again. They'll say already there, already up to date. Unless, of course, it needs updating. Fonts. I don't know. Sometimes you do run into, you're trying to read a document or something, and it doesn't have fonts on your system. And it'll say missing, you know, and sometimes, usually it'll just select a different font to use. Then again, you always got to remember there could be potential bugs or conflicts, so I think I'll leave that as it is. Hardware support. Oh, what kind of hardware? You know what? Hardware support. Yeah. This machine, I don't think there's anything on it that I have any issues with it not being supported. Now, a laptop, that's just making me think, you might want to go find out what, yeah, you're making me think maybe I better go find out what's, should have left that terminal window open so I could run that command again. I guess I can open up. Yeah, there we go. TNF group info. I tapped it last time, but this time I'm not going to be as brave. Open terminal. Oh, I could have just done that. Now, up one on the arrow. Now, what I want is hardware support. I better see what's in there. Oh, I need the italics. I may change my mind. I may decide it's a bunch of stuff I don't have any use for. And could be hardware that I would never have, you know. Well, this time it didn't have to run through all that extra stuff. So, tools for hardware-specific utilities. Atmail. Yep, it's stuff that I don't. It's like I don't know what it all is, but yeah. If you don't have the hardware, you know, well, for one thing, like if you have a graphics driver that's the wrong one, say you have an NVIDIA graphics driver installed and it's the wrong one for your NVIDIA card, but it is NVIDIA. I'm trying to say, I've had that before. Well, mostly with when I was trying to use proprietary NVIDIA drivers, but you can get into some trouble. You can have things break with your graphics and stuff. This is not graphics, none of it. But I don't know what ALSA, which I already have ALSA that comes with it. So yeah, audio. That's the only one I really see right offhand that I don't even know what it is. So no, don't need that. Glad I double checked on that. Yeah, don't just say, "Oh, that sounds cool," and do it. I learned that. I'm learning that. Also, I can close that, and if I open it back up, it'll still work. So I'm gonna, yeah, I'll use the undo and get rid of that. Graphical support, hardware support. I mean, okay, now available groups. This is still under the hidden group system. 3D printing. Well, I don't have a 3D printer. Oh, I do like administrative tools very much. They help. A lot of stuff in there that you can use. Okay. Yeah, this is like watching paint dry, but you can always skip ahead and see how it ends up. But I figure if I'm going to have to do it, might as well show it. And I never know what I'm going to run into where I get hung up and I figure it out, or stuff like that, you know, or I never know for sure what it is the best thing to tell about show. And so I just do it all because I know I tried for years to plan and make and edit videos, and I would make a few long videos and then never upload them because I thought I had to edit them first, and I went almost 10 years of, you know, wishing I'd get all this stuff done, and finally realized, why don't I just make live videos? Well, you didn't used to be able to make live videos easily like this, so now that you can. I remembered my years of running live sound and how well I like that, so I like doing this. ARM tools. Well, I'm just going to do those. I've got a Raspberry Pi and an Arduino and some Texas Instrument. They don't have ARM processors, but MSP 430s. But did I forget to? No, I commented that one out like it should. The one above it. So yeah, that could very well have some stuff I might want in there. Audio production. Didn't I already do that? Yeah, I've already done audio production. Okay, so when we're getting into duplicates now, well, we already were, but I just wasn't sure. Authoring and publishing. Well, did I already do that? Oops. Find. Control F for find. I don't think that was on there. Yeah, it was. Authoring and publishing. Okay. What's the next one? Basic desktop. No, I don't need that. Books and guides. I do remember that. Build system, build group. Now, that could have make in it. It's hard to find just the right ones to have all your stuff to run make, make when you're trying to install something from, I can't remember how they say it. But when it's not an RPM or you want to install it, not just run it standalone or portable, but it doesn't have a dev file or an RPM. You need make and all these other things to compile it. When you need to compile an application, that's what I'm trying to say. Build system, build group. Okay. Really don't know for sure, but I don't want to skip it, but I don't want to do it if I don't need it. Okay. Okay. There we go. DNF. Now all I got to do is delete all that and paste the other in there. I'll do it that way because I think if I try to right click, I'll mess it up. Okay. Oh, bash. Well, we alre+already have bash. Well, that won't hurt. Fedora release. Gawk. Oh. GCC. C++. Although I think it's written in C++. grep. Yeah, that's one. You can run grep commands already. Patch. Some of these may already be on there. That doesn't mean you don't have them. It just means that's what's in these groups. Tar, unzip. Okay, yeah. I want to make sure I have those. I may already have them, but I don't know for sure. So this definitely, well, it's a long list. It's taking a while. At least I'm kind of learning how to shortcut doing it. Let's see. I think. I keep shutting that because I don't want all that to still be in there, So I decided to do it. Okay. Getting tired now. I got so sleepy after I ate my supper. Where is it? Build. There it is. It all. But I didn't. I was just. I watched a few videos, 2 or 3 while I was eating. But then after that, I was like, I don't really want to watch videos or anything. I kind of thought maybe I should relax. Then I really was just thinking about all this. I thought, well, I might as well go back to work. Okay, build system group. Build system group. Okay, there we go. C development tools and libraries. I thought it was way too complicated for me to ever even touch. But I'll tell you one thing: if you're curious about what's in a file, then it's written in C, and what a lot of stuff is. Then this may have. I'm just going to do it, but it should have some. What says libraries? Yeah, maybe. Nah, I don't think it'll be too bad, too much. You think? It might be a way. It's probably going to have at least one C development IDE in it, and I didn't ever have any. Yeah, I did too. I had a couple for writing in C. But anyway, you could, if you don't have one that can read C, then you won't be able to. You'll just see googly like on one of those files I opened a while ago. I don't know if that was in C. It might have been something else, but. Cinnamon desktop, cloud infrastructure, cloud management. I was looking back at my last one to see if I did it right. Cloud server tools, Compiz, container management, critical path applications. I don't know really what you do with any of that. Critical tools and libraries. I just saw that, didn't I? Well, that was C development. Oh, that's D development. Yeah, I don't know what D is even. Design suite. I'm pretty sure I already got that. Whoops, I did that again. Control F. Design suite. Yeah, design suite. I've already got that in there. Okay, get out of there. Development libraries, just did that, didn't I? Oh, that was. Oh, these are just development libraries. The other ones were C development libraries. Now, of course, like I said, I don't know programming, and the libraries are generally, I gather, is stuff you can code snippets you can start from. You can copy and paste, and only Python would be the only one that I could even begin to do that. Really, I kind of need the whole thing, like a template of the whole thing. Like I did, the only one I ever made myself, program I ever wrote myself. I didn't write it. It was a template for a screensaver in Python, and I just got that template and then changed it up, added the text I wanted it to play, and changed the timing a little bit, But it helped me, learn. I mean, of course, I learned more in that class that I took before I did that. I couldn't have done that until I took that class. But anyway, it helped me learn kind of what I'm seeing when I look in even though it's Python's, like I said, from what Dave said, Arduino scripts are written in C, not C++, but just C. And but they looks a lot alike. They look a lot alike because I've seen Python and I've seen Arduino scripts and I really haven't looked at any. Only thing I've done is install operating systems on my Raspberry Pi. I haven't gotten into the programming portions of what you can do with it, like if you use the Raspberry, distro. Anyway, design suite, yes, I've got that. Development libraries, just straight up development libraries. I think I'll leave that alone. Development tools, development tools. Those might be good. Yeah, they probably would be. There might be some of those IDEs I've been talking about. Get so many things in here. You can't just run and uninstall them real easy. You'll end up like the other day. The first thing I installed that I knew actually knew that Apper doesn't work so well anymore, but I tried it because I hated DNF Dragora so much. And sure enough, it wouldn't even run. I mean, it ran, but it wouldn't do anything. It was all messed up. I don't know. No, it was. It never was like that before. It's just evidently depreciated so much that it won't work anymore. It's all I can figure. But I mean, normally when you install an application, it gets its dependencies automatically. So directory server. So I guess it's the application. DNS name server. That's what I was trying to say. You can install it all day, but learning how to set it up, that's a whole other thing. If I had a DNS name server on my server running, then I wouldn't need a domain name redirector to follow my IP address. It would anytime anybody typed in bishopco.com or donsongs.com, donsongs.com, it would answer on the internet, and you'd get there, and it wouldn't matter what my IP address is. At least I think that you don't have to have a dynamic. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you don't have to even have a dynamic. You can use a dynamic IP. You don't have to have a static IP address in order. If you have a domain name server, on your server, or separate from your server. I mean, the big boys, they have their own. You just have like domain name servers galore, and they don't put their websites on them and stuff. There's a whole, I mean, it's like, I'm sure Google has plenty of them, Well, I mean, they only really use one domain name, Google, but I'm sure they have their own. Dog tag certificates, I tried that one time. See if I could set up my own certificate system, and I didn't understand it that well. Domain membership, that's another thing. And I did have that on my server. I think it's on my server, and it turned out to not be of any use for me, or I didn't know how to use it, and I didn't want to learn because it didn't seem like it was going to help me. Eclipse, I put that on there, and I really didn't ever have a use for that. I don't even remember what it does exactly. Editors, I've already done editors, right? That's the one I went around and around with. Yeah, I've already done it. I already ran it for my test, and it's it only had that one. I don't know how would you get the optional stuff. Well, I don't want all that anyway. Educational, I got that a while ago. Electronics lab, I did that. Engineering and scientific. Oops, I'm going to look. Electronic lab, I've got. Engineering. Got that. Entanglement desktop. What? Entanglement desktop. Enlightenment. That is a cool desktop. I'm really tempted, but I'll let it stay on. There's one distro that's what they use. It's a cool desktop. It's not, I wouldn't want to use it all the time, but you'd have to go check it out. It's cool. It's different. Let's see. Epiphany web browser. I don't need that. Fedora Packer. What's in Fedora Packer? Does that help me to redo my remix? I wonder. I don't remember seeing that one. Get this open again. Okay, now let's see. I'm starting to get the hang of how to do it enough times. I still wish I could hit Control B. Fedora Packer. All right. Hewlett Packard. Packard Bell. Okay, what do we got here? Fedora Packer. A lot of these things I didn't do on my other system, Fedora 23, because I had split the drive in half between Windows 7 and Fedora, and I ran out of space. Okay, Boda Client Curl, Fedora Easy Karma, Fedora Packer, Fedora Rec, Git. Some of these are going to be duplicated from other things. Koji, Make. There's Make right there. Mock, Red Hat RPM config. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this. I might actually, I know I would at least use Make and stuff once in a while. I imagine you could leave the quotation marks. What have I been saying? Have I been saying quotation marks every time? I don't know. Those are quotation marks. The one with the two little lines on either side, that's quotation marks. I know that. Right now, I know that. 5 minutes from now, I'll have already forgotten again, I guess. My memory's like, it's like Swiss cheese. I have random access memory, RAM. Okay, I lost my spot. There it is, Fedora Packer. This is actually, I don't think any of the other text editors do this part right here. You know, telling it shows you every time when you're not done yet. You ain't got that right yet. Firefox web browser. Well, I already have that. That comes font design and packaging. No, I don't want to know how to. Free IPA server. I forget what that is, but I've checked into it before. FTP server. I tried. A very secure FTP. FTP server. Let's go look and see what's in the FTP server group. I may want it and I may not. Maybe the FTP server that I don't like. Oops. Oh, I accidentally hit enter. Of course, it was wrong. I was trying to hit shift. Yeah, very secure FTPD. That's what I would want. And an optional Pro FTPD. I've tried that before too. Pure FTPD. Okay, now I'm getting the idea here. But I do want very secure FTPD. So I'm going to put that in there. I think it might already be in my hand type stuff. I've really been kind of missing not being able to FTP or SFTP into my system because I never did install it on the Fedora 23. Sometimes I worry about the security of it, but you know, my regular desktop, a server is the only thing that has an open port, and so it, you know, if I want people to go in there and read it, of course I don't want them to hack around in it, but and I run all the security stuff that Fedora server comes with, and a couple more that I know about, and like fail to ban. If somebody keeps trying to get in there, then it will block them completely from accessing it. So they give like so many tries, you know. If they're trying to log in, then there's nothing to log into, you know. And so anyway, my desktop is in a way a server can help protect your desktop because it's got the only open ports. See, and so if they go to my IP address, then they're going to go to that server, and they're going to have to get through it and out of it to get back to try to go to my desktop. So even if they're on the same router, so I was going to say I used to have my desktop on a different router, but sometimes it depends on how I change it back and forth. Sometimes depending on what I need, you know. But the routers aren't that hard for people that know how to do all that stuff to get to anyway, so get through. So I don't know how much. I used to think it was good. I should really keep my desktops like the server on a web-facing router and then the others on down, you know, the line. But I don't know that it's really that big of a deal with home routers. They're just not that secure. And that's another thing. I've been for years thinking I ought to make you can make what's called a web appliance, which is the firewall and security device out of an old computer. There's lots of distros for that. But I thought, well, I can't have two machines running, too much heat, too much noise. But if I could turn it into a web appliance, firewall, and all that, and a web server, but I kind of have, because of course I have a software server on my web server, the one, you know, I have it all set up. So there is some more extra security things that are in those, but they were hard to change up. You know, you really had to learn a lot. So I never built me a server that was a combination firewall appliance and web server. I still think about trying it again once in a while. Okay, so this is FTP server. Okay, extra games. Let's see. Whoops. Let's go. I skipped the games. Yeah, games and entertainment, and then there's extra games. Let's see what's in games and entertainment. It could have the games that I actually like in it, for all I know. Let's see. Oh, that was a different. Let's see. I think it's in there more times than I thought. Games and entertainment. Games and entertainment. Yeah, there it is up at the top. Okay. Then the extra games, okay. And I think it's in there, yeah, another time for whatever reason. So let's just leave it on games and entertainment because that's the one I'm actually interested in. I figure the extra games would just be more. I don't play a lot of games, but I do like there's a flight simulator that I like that they say, well, this is not a game, this is a flight simulator, but it's made, you know, it looks like a game. But it's supposed to, it really, I mean, it's from what I gathered, it's very authentic, you know, to be a flight simulator to actually teach you. how to fly. Cessnas. And, well, some of them are. Most of them are like I flew a B-52. I love to fly the B-52. It's very easy to take off, very hard to land without crashing. And the Cessna is the only one that I could take off and land. Oh, and then there was a space plane, which is fantasy. Could go into outer space. Well, maybe not anymore. Right, it may not be for very long. But and it was the only jet that I could take off and land fairly easily. Of course, it was probably not. I mean, it was fantasy, so probably not too authentic, a way of how it would be. Ooh, there's too many games. I don't need that many games. It'd be just light gear. I think that's it right there, light gear. But if I want those, well, you got to have 3D support anyway. I don't think I could play it on the. I don't think this machine could do it. It's only got 256 megabyte of video memory. My old other machine at least had 512 megabyte, and it could do it. Okay. Yeah, there's just games and games and games in here. If you like games, there you go. I don't want a jillion games. There's only like maybe 3 that I've ever really played. There was another one called Lin, Lin City. It was a kind of a clone of Win City, from what I understood. And you build your own city in the olden days, and you set up your manufacturing and your farms and your coal mines and all this stuff, and you see if you can survive or everybody dies and starves and dies from coal. One thing I found out, I thought, make plenty of farms, plenty of industry, and then I'll be a success. Well, I made too many things with coal. They didn't give you like steel manufacturing, any of that stuff. Well, I don't think. Anyway, I made too many things that had coal emissions, and people got sick. Kind of like early America. So, games and entertainment. I just wanted to look at games because I want to get back to where I was. And more games, I'm not going to worry about that now. Extra games, yeah. I definitely don't want any extra games. I didn't. Even more. Okay. My throat is getting tired from talking. Graphics. Okay. I already have graphics, don't I? No. Okay. There's not a graphics other than that one, evidently. I want GIMP and all that stuff, and there's some really awesome graphics apps, 3D graphics too, that I've installed them before that'll do 3D and 2D and 3D graphics, and they're really complicated. There's one that's really well known, Blender. I've tried out Blender. I really couldn't do anything in it. It's just too big of a learning curve for me. Guest agents, no. High availability, that's for server. HA proxy, Haskell, I forgot what that is. Headless management, no, not on this. Java, I don't really want any more Java than I absolutely have to have. Java's so easy, so vulnerable to trouble. Let's go see what would be in the group. It might be stuff you need to do, to do basic stuff. Definitely not going to be already on there with Fedora. They wouldn't put it on there. That wouldn't, because it's not true open source, stuff. What will we get? Group Java, mandatory packages, Java 1.8, OpenJDK. Oh, okay. Default packages, ABRT Java connector, IST. Oh, okay. I haven't had that. I didn't put it on my Fedora 23. I don't think I even put that. IST Web, that's the add-on for your browser to play Java code. But I think they're keeping up with it. But I didn't have it and I didn't miss it. So I won't do that unless I actually need it. If I come up on the time when I can't do something I want to do, then I'll do it. It doesn't go up there when you click on it like that. It doesn't go up here. It goes over there to the left in that little directory listing. I'm trying to Control V to paste, to paste that in there while it's blue still, which is what you normally could do. Don't know. Okay, so yeah, we don't want Java. I just thought of something I could do. I was like, well, how will I ever know that I might, that those were interesting? I guess I could do that. Double comment it out. I don't think it will hurt anything. Whoops, that's not a comment. I think you can do that and it won't do anything. Double comment it out, but it'll tell me that, oh, what's that? Either way, it does that. Oh, it won't let you put one over there. Look at that. Ha! It's going to move it over. That's fine. I think I'm really going to do that because, well, what if it messes up my script? I don't think it would, but let's don't do that. I want it to run. That's the main thing. Okay. Did I look and see what was in the graphics package group? I don't think I did. I just said, oh, that's going to be stuff I want. Graphics. Whoa. Maybe more than I actually wanted. K3D. WinView. Well, there's not that many, but oh, Pinani, Image Magic. Okay, well, now there's another way I could get more specifically what I've been, like what I had on my old system, but like I said before, it also, well, it could be either way. There's apps on my old system that I know I don't want that didn't work right and stuff. Color Paint. These, and that was a lot of them, I just saw it in there, thought it looked interesting, and installed it. Well, these should all be tested and known to work together well, or they wouldn't be in a group. Raw Studio, yeah, there's a lot of same back end, same camera, same scanners. Oh, that is good. That's everything that I can think of that Xane that you could need to make your graphics work. Yeah, that is good. I don't think I would really be upset about having any of that. So I don't think it would mess with anything that I can think of. Yeah, see right there, you would think you could just start working in the blue up there at the top, but it doesn't work. You're still not up there yet. Hopefully this will, well, that gives me everything I need to know if I decided I wanted to. If I decide later I want to install those, of course this one I am going to do, graphics. But if I decided, I don't think, no, I copied and pasted that stuff, yeah. So if I decided I wanted some of those other ones, I will be able to find them in that folder if I can remember that that's what I did. Oh, that thing's making that noise now, that server. I don't know if I want to, let me just listen to it for a second. I don't know if I want to go to the trouble to try to put the camera up there and everything. It's really going. I don't know if you can hear it off the SM58. I am going to try it for a minute. I know it's crazy in the middle of this video, but I'm going to grab this other camera and swap to the wireless because I can take it and put it right up there next to it. Okay, so go ahead and mute the SM58. And I actually just got through starting my replay so I can see if it's working and everything. Okay, so it's taking so long. I think, I'm not sure which mic that was. Okay, so I want to take it off and stick it up here by it. It's not, cable's not hardly long enough. That's towards the back. I was going to grab the camera. Well, I will. So just showing my shirt. See, there's the IBM. I'm holding the mic down at the bottom. Of course, you're not really going to see much down here. Put it closer to the back. That's the noise it's making. So this is an air vent down there. So what do you think? Now I'm stuck. Got two hands full. Okay, I'm gonna drop the mic. Mic drop. I always hate that because all I can think of is somebody breaking my expensive mics. When somebody drops a mic on purpose like that. Somebody did break one of my SM58s one time and they had to pay for it. Oh. So, being goofy. So anyway, wow. I just hit that perfectly. I put that camera back up there and just threw it in about where I thought it should be. I can't believe that. I can't. When I'm trying to do that, I can't. I'm looking at it going, okay, I think that's where it usually sits, you know, with the angle and everything. It's about an inch higher, maybe. That's pretty good. Okay, am I back on the world here? I thought I would get through with. It's about an inch. I thought I would get through with this script and run it quite a while ago. But I should have known. I knew I had a very long job. I knew I had a long bunch of text, but I kind of thought I could go through the parts I don't want pretty quickly. But the thing is you gotta really investigate if you want to decide if you want some of this or not, you know. And hit save. I want to make sure I don't lose anything. Guest agents, high availability, HA proxy. I already saw that before. Having a headless management Java. Oh, that's where I was. Java. Okay. KDE. Oh, I decided I was afraid to do that. Put that. I know it wouldn't hurt, but I'm not going to do it anyway. Just because you think you know it. There's just maybe I don't know that. You know, maybe I think I know it. KDE applications. All right. Now I didn't do the KDE desktop, but KDE applications, multimedia. Now some of those apps I don't care for. Telepathy framework. Okay, let's just look. KDE. See. Now let's see. Am I back up to the top? I was looking for the KDE server. They're not. Where's the KDE desktop? There it is. KDE, K desktop environment. Okay, there it is at the top. KDE Plasma Workspaces. I had decided not to do the whole thing. There it is again, but just written differently. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there's a KDE group and a KDE. I get this could be an older version. The KDE might not be KDE Plasma. But yeah, there it is again within this area or some other area that I've already went through. So right here, so there's some KDE applications that I really like. That's why I'm stopping and looking at that. Educational, multimedia support. Well, one thing, KRFB, you know. So I don't want to have to do this over and over like this, but it's the only way to know. So go run that command again. I wish I'd have put my buttons up here now. I didn't want to get all sidetracked. I wanted to kind of like when I'd redo the interfaces, I wanted to do it. That's what I'm doing, so that it's all kind of ties together, and I'm not jumping from one thing to the other. But I get tired of things not being set up the way I want them to. Okay, KDE applications, but I really do want to get this script set up and run. Arc, Digicam, Connect, Conversation, KRDC, there it is right there. KRFB, oh, it's KRFB that I want. Crusader I've already got. Really, I don't like Digicam. I used to use it and it crashed my system a lot. Maybe it doesn't do that anymore. There's only two apps in there that I like, KRFB and Crusader. I mean, there's a lot of KDE apps that I do like. I mean, there's a lot of them and I like them, but KRFB, I can just put in my little thing at the top is what I'm thinking. But I'm going to do what I've been doing. I think on some of those I ended up with a double space in there. But let's just get KRFB, because by the time I switch over to I may have already put it in my little list. Let's see. Yeah, I don't need any of the rest of those. I think Arc is an archive manager, but I like the other ones that come with Fedora better. Yeah, I don't want Kmines as a little game, so yeah. I mean, it's not a long list. It's not like it would really hurt, but I don't think I want those. Okay, gotta get back in my right place here. That is still playing. Okay, that was still playing, and I wanted to make sure. See if KRFB is in there anywhere. Yeah, see, it's not in there anywhere. I didn't think to put it in my manual list here. Let's get up at the top and search for it again just to make sure. Yeah, it's not in the whole document anywhere else, so we'll just put it right there. There we go. KRFB, so it was worth the trouble there, the look. Now we'll just go through searching KDE again. I might change my mind later, but I don't want the whole KDE desktop right now. Educational makes it harder to read I don't know why, but in this case, when you do that, it just goes back and forth until you get to the end, I guess. Yeah, that's what it's doing. Then it'll go back up to the top. But so educational, I don't think there's anything in there that would be multimedia support. I don't care for really any of the KDE multimedia apps that I can think of. I don't want KOffice. I don't care for it. That's kind of like LibreOffice, but it's just, it's not, I don't guess it's all that different, but than the others, but I've been using OpenOffice and LibreOffice for so long. That's just what I'm really used to. Telepathy, I forgot what that is, but I don't think I need that. Frameworks 5, okay, I don't think I need any of that. Okay, so let's just get our little deal back in our clipboard, and then we'll go back on legacy fonts, legacy network server, software development. If it's legacy, I probably don't want it. I've already got that's LibreOffice development. Live CD tools. Yes, because I may go back again and try to learn, even if I have to do it in the command line, I may go back and learn how to do that, because this here episode, see, that blue made me realize I typed the wrong thing. That was pretty cool. See, I typed the $sign and it was blue. That would actually make it a command of some sort, I think. I don't know what it would be, but that was not what I wanted. Okay, so Live CD tools is the command line tool you use to burn a CD remix of your present. Of course, mine wouldn't fit on a CD, or to burn an ISO of your present system. There was a graphic user interface that you could do it with. And either way, it's hard to get it because if you get a mistake, it'll hang up, and you got to keep working and working. And I don't know if to use this one here. I don't know if you have to build a Kickstart file, but to use the graphic one I did, that's where I learned how to work in Kickstart files to some extent. But anyway, the last time Revo, yeah, REVO, I think is what it was called. The graphic app that would do it. It was, you know, for making your present Fedora system into a live and installable system, exactly as it was. It was awesome, but it was hard to use, and I guess whoever developed it got tired of maintaining it. Anyway, Fedora 11, I made one, and it's the only one I actually successfully made. And shortly after, I went to Fedora 12, and so on and so on. Well, one of my biggest problems was it was 3 gigabytes, the ISO. It wouldn't fit on a CD, or a DVD. I meant to say DVD. Of course, it wouldn't fit on a CD. Wouldn't fit. Let's see, would it fit any DVDs? What do they do? I might. Maybe it would. Now I've went blank. I don't burn DVDs much anymore, so I don't remember. I know it wouldn't fit. At around that time, not long after that, I didn't have any USB sticks then, but I got some, but they're only 2 gigabytes. So I never had until just recently that SD card that's 32 gigabyte and the USB adapter. I could put it on there, but it's Fedora 11. It's so old. I mean, it would run on an old machine that doesn't have much resources, but the apps are all old. The web browser's too old to, surf the web. And I mean, it won't even, most of the pages would be broken. Because it's even older than my Domain 6 systems out in the garage. And they... and they're kind of hit and miss on, what they'll do. They won't really play any Flash or Java or anything. So it's just neat, but you can't use it anymore. So I never got a chance to use it. I mean, when I was using the Fedora 11 system, I didn't need to make another one. I didn't have a bunch of machines back then either. Didn't have anything to put it on. So anyway, I would like to do that. Right now, I would like to I would probably just start with Fedora Live Security because it's lightweight with XFCE desktop, and then put ClamAV on it, and I saved the files from Bitdefender Rescue CD. Of course, I couldn't put that on there and then distribute it to anybody, but I guess I could ask them and see if they'd allow me to or something, but probably wouldn't. But for myself, I thought I might put that on there too, so I could scan with ClamAV and Bitdefender. But if I was going to put it, on a server somewhere, or my own or whatever, I wouldn't. Something that high bandwidth, I wouldn't put them on server. Something that's a gig or gig and a half or whatever, 3 gigs. But might put it in some place where that's for sharing, Linux distros. Because there's those times when you really need to scan for instance, most of all your Fedora system. Fedora can mount the Fedora LVMs, and Domain and all the others can't. Not out of the box. I mean, you can get in the command line and mount them, but that's not that. I can't remember how to do it. I've done it a few times, but I don't remember. I don't want to remember, to be honest. Load balancer, that's for server. So anyway, yeah, maybe I'll get in there and try again. Probably have to brush up on Kickstart files again, I think. I'm not sure. Well, it might just I was kind of looking through it recently a few times. It might copy what you got without you having to manually build a Kickstart file and all that. Can't remember. Load balancer, applications for LXDE. Well, I'm not going to get, that's another lightweight desktop. LXDE, multimedia support. Yeah, okay. LXQT, I don't know if that's a newer one or if I just never heard of it, but I think it's a newer one. LXQT desktop, multimedia support for it. Mail server, okay, well, I don't want that on my desktop, but I wouldn't maybe thought about doing that on my server. Yes and no. You end up constantly trying to keep it clean from malware, so probably be too much trouble. We definitely have to have a real-time scanner for that. If you're going to run mail server that's open to the internet. So it'd be constantly probably getting attacked. People trying to break into it too, on top of the spam that just normally comes into a mail server. Mate applications, I did that earlier. Medical, I did that. Milk Mist, I don't know what Milky Mist is actually. Ming GW cross compiler. I wonder if I need that. A compiler, this might be one of those really neat compilers. I have all these things that I'm wondering about. I have them on my Fedora 14 system, but now they'll still work, but they may not work at the latest. Like if you downloaded something new, it might not work with it because it's too old now. That you might be wanting to compile and install. It's definitely, I've spent all these years, and I know when I see them, sometimes they ring a bell, applications, but I can't remember all the things. If I could remember all the applications I've discovered and tried out, man, would I know a lot, But this group thing, it's a quick way to either find out about them or re-find out about them or get things you didn't know you needed, Okay, let's see. For cross-compiling programs to 32-bit Windows targets. Oh, this is an old kind of compiler then, isn't it? It's for, if we wanted to build you some programs for running on 32-bit Windows targets. That'd be like Windows XP 98 and stuff like that. Oh, well, this is, it'd be cool if you were into retro programming, but no, I wouldn't know how to do all that. Cool, but I wouldn't know how to do it. I wouldn't have any use for that. You say that, and then the next week you run into something where you actually could do it, So, never say never. Again. That was a cool movie. Yeah, that was James Bond, in case you're still wondering what the heck I'm talking about. From before you were born, evidently. Let's see. I've lost it. Okay, mate. Yes, I have lost it, but I lost my place is what I meant. Oh, man, I can't believe. I keep thinking I'm getting into these duplicates and I'm going to be done with the part that's actually got stuff I need to look into. And I see more things that I maybe have never heard of. Okay, I know I remember the medical, the Milky Mist. With a name like that, do you just have to go look it up to see what is Milky Mist? MILKYMIST? I guess you do. When you see it that many times in a row, you have to go find out what is Milky Mist. Am I spelling it right? I think it's MILKYMIST, no R. Milky Mister. Well, it's not throwing out errors. Okay, what is Milky Mist? Hardware engineers. Oh. Well, I'm not a hardware engineer. Just because I watch. Yeah, even Dave and E-Blog, I don't think he would even need this. Maybe. Oh. He's an electronics engineer, so I think this is specifically for computer hardware stuff. He doesn't. Well, he'll mess with old old vintage computers on it, and he'll do teardowns and explain all the chips and everything. And he knows what they are. I mean, he used to work with them. But for instance, he does things that I enjoy because, like today, I watched one of his videos while I was eating my second lunch. He found He lives in Australia, and he lives somewhere where there's a business building that he's allowed to go into. He knows somebody there or something, and they have their trash like inside in a big trash room, and I think this is where he got it. Anyway, he got one of those giant copiers, like a Xerox copier. They have their own brand there in Australia. I forgot what it was, but like a Xerox copier. I have one, an old Xerox copier. This was newer than the one I got, but had a touchscreen, and long story short, that was the only thing wrong with it, and he fixed it. But he knows component level. He knows component level testing because he was an electronics design engineer. He designed this stuff for years. So, you know, even if he's never seen it before, he can just look at it and guess and kind of, you know, with his experience, guess through it and figure it out. And he fixed it, made it work again. And I thought it was great. And then he's got another video that I saw right after that, you know, related, where he tears one that looks just like it down completely. And I didn't watch it yet, but I'm going to watch that. Because, well, I know mine did work perfectly, but it sat out in the garage for years, and the heat melted the rollers in it. They got old. It's some kind of gummy rubber. It was gummy. I guess it was good to be gummy because it would make catch the paper and roll it through. So it'll work. It still would work perfectly, everything except for the paper won't roll through. And I opened it up enough to see that stuff. Well, I saw this gummy stuff all over the place, reddish gummy stuff. And I think you can buy those parts, but it cost a fortune. And it was given to me, and I never used it much. Once in a while, I'd fire it up and use it, and it's only black and white too. So, but you can hook it up to a computer. It'll work with Windows 95. That's how old it is. And you could. That's what I always thought it'd be cool to do because it has really high resolution, even though it's black and white. You could scan things and then send them straight to. You'd have to set you up. I've got a couple of machines that had Windows 95 on them, and I just need the cable and hook them up and scan straight into the computer. And you can still do that actually without the paper, but it's kind of a shame to see it not working right. Anyway, I thought that was a different one from what he usually does. He usually does smaller things. Way different, really. Load balancer. Okay, I forgot where I was. Oh, that didn't help. Now I've lost my place completely. Oh, well, looky there. When I take that out, I guess right back to where I were. Good, thanks. Now that's a cool feature. I deleted that, and it didn't stay where it was at. It went back to where I started. Okay, so now, what was it that finally got me to go look it up? Milky Mist, yeah. Ming GW cross. I already did that. Cross-platform. Oh, Milky Mist was just above it. Okay. MongoDB. Well, that's kind of like MySQL. I think it's basically the same type of things that it will do. I don't need those on here. Network servers, news server. Yeah, that's what I should do. Set me up a news server. OCaml. That's like a particular type of text editing. I've never really. I've opened up some of the apps before, and I could use it if I needed to, but I don't really know what I would use it for. Office productivity. Okay, now I think I already have that. Let's make sure. XFCE Office Suite. No, I don't want that. LibreOffice. I already have that. Didn't I say I might want to add that to the? Well, this is further on down, isn't it? Why did I do that? Workstation. Oh, DNF group info workstation product environment. Huh. I guess that was just, that was one of the examples of using that command, DNF group info. Common network manager, SC submodules core. I don't really want that. It does have LibreOffice, but that's kind of almost what we've already got just by installing Fedora, it looks like. And then LibreOffice development. Well, there's what's in there. Calc, email merge. Huh. I don't really know how much different that is between. I don't remember ever seeing anything about email merge and the regular LibreOffice though. Okay, interesting, but I don't know about that either. Okay, yeah, I went ahead and did LibreOffice. Okay, because I thought I might get a few extra things. Oh, and I've got Office and Productivity as well. Okay, that's right. I decided it would be good. So I don't need to put it in there again. There it is again. And I'm trying to get back to where I'm at right now. Okay, LXDE Office. There. I think that's where I was at. Yeah, because I don't see any more DNFY installs. Yeah, okay, so online help documentation. Online? I'm not going to worry about that, I don't think. Should I? No. I'm getting down to where I'm getting tired now. I'm just skipping stuff because I'm tired. VMware platform support. VMware. Huh. I didn't know they had VMware stuff for Linux, for Fedora. I've been watching lots of videos. I'm really interested in, I want to get me a server or some servers, couple or something. I don't have, I can't run them in here. Whoops, I just messed up. I can't run them in here. There's too hot, too much noise. That's the only reason why I haven't already done it. But you can get so much more power out of the machines and run, multiple operating systems. And Morton guy, server admin guy that makes some really good videos, really good. He uses VMware, and so I learned a lot about it. I mean, I could set it up now, I think. Well, I might have to review. Open VM tools. That's it. Huh. That's not a whole lot of stuff. I'm going to check it out because it's different than VirtualBox. And the regular VMware, the proprietary one, it's free for limited functionality. Oh, I forgot to do that. Which would be fine, but an open source one would be better, be fully functional. I don't know how full this is, I mean, what all it does, but I'm going to look at it. And I do want VirtualBox. I don't know if I've got that to where I'm going to get it or not, actually. I just hadn't thought about it. But I do want VirtualBox. But it'll be, it should help me at least to learn. I can actually practice on VMware stuff, and see which one I really want to use, because I thought, well, there's one, Fedora has its own setup that will run on a lot of servers, but you do have to pay attention to the server when you're buying it, that it will run the Fedora, I'll call it VMware because I don't remember what it's called, but the Fedora VMware setup. That's the one I thought I definitely would prefer because I know Fedora, Python Classroom, okay, I remember doing that. Science, I decided Python Science. Oh yeah, for science stuff. Python. That's Python Web. I want Python. Let's see. Python. Okay, I did Classroom. I didn't do Science. Okay, I'll just do the, I don't know, the Science one. There's really, it doesn't have it up there. It just says Python Science. I don't think it'll be a whole lot. Python is the only language I can really do anything in, so I'm going to just get what Python they have to offer. Python, you actually need Python just to run stuff. That may be what that's really for, just so that you can run Python applications. You can have, though, like if you're in Yum Extender or whatever, you can see different versions. You can have Python, I think it was 2 and 3, or it might be 3 and 4 now that's been available. Okay, the robotics, I think I went ahead and did that. The RPM development, Ruby's another language that's been popular for a long time. It was one I had heard of, and I thought I'd try to learn something about it, but there's so much available for it, you wouldn't believe it, but I think it's a lot more complicated than Python. I never did learn anything about it, I know that. I used to install it, and I could run things that were programmed in Ruby, no problem, but I couldn't do any work in them or anything. Security lab, did I? Yeah, I already did that. Security lab, okay. Couldn't remember. Server configuration tools, no, not on this one. Hardware support, Fedora, server product core, Windows file server SMB. Don't know how much SMB I put on there. SMB server. Oh, it's only right there. I don't want the server. It's just too easy to break into and everything. I used to do that. But the Samba, CSAMB, oh, I put it in there. Oh, it's right there, and that's it. I think it's already installed then if I did it. But SMB server, I don't really want that because it's just too hard it's too easy to break into, too hard to keep secure. I'd rather use getting what I'm supposed to be doing to move on. I'd rather use SFTP, and you can use FileZilla runs on Windows too, but you can use some other apps too to SFTP into your Linux box from a Windows machine when you need to, and that's more secure to have run it on your machine and have people be able to break into it so easy. Okay, so PostgreSQL, that's like MySQL, but it's an open source SQL database application. Sugar, okay, no sugar stuff. I don't want sugar. Text-based internet. Tomcat, Apache Tomcat server. I don't need that. I've had it on. Well, I've got it on my Fedora 14. I think it was used a lot for serving media files, if I remember right. Vagrant, I don't remember. I remember seeing a video in Fedora talking about Vagrant lately. I mean, I've heard about it for a long time, but I've never used it. Virtualization. All right, let's see what's going to be in the virtualization group. This may be where I can get, this may be KVM. They used to be big on KVM. Not like my KVM switch, but KVM virtualization. And I think they've kind of dropped. I don't think they're using it anymore. They got, what is it they got? I haven't really used it. Either that or they actually, I said KVM, right? Yeah. Virt install, libvirt, Qimu. This is for Qimu. Qimu's good, but it's also a hit and miss on whether or not it works. So I just use VirtualBox. I'm not going to put this one on there. It might make it work, but, and there used to be some things that would run that I couldn't get running in VirtualBox, but that was years ago. So really, anytime I want to just run something in a virtual machine, right now I just go straight to VirtualBox, and it usually works. If it doesn't, I just say, oh well. But there used to be some things that would run in Qimu and not in VirtualBox. Of course, that, like I said, I haven't messed with it much at all in years. Keep QEMU. So, other than some of the like easy to boot, it comes with it. Some things come with it. It's all set up, and you can test your ISOs in it, and your multi-boot system or whatever, and it'll run on Linux or Windows or whatever you're on. But if it's already set up, I'll turn it on and use it, but I don't try to set it up anymore. Anyway, I'll just put VirtualBox on there. Basic web server, window managers. No, that's just going to be more. I'm not going to be building any window managers or anything. I've already got my desktop and all that. So I think I tried that before, messed with that before. Workstation product core. Well, that's something to do with Genome 3. X software development. Well, I can't do it. Okay, let's don't keep, applications for XFCE, maybe. I don't know. I just want to know what that is. But I don't have to know right now. Multimedia port support for XFCE. Now, some of that, let's see what I have on XFCE. Go back up to the top and then come back down to here. Because I am installing the XFCE desktop. Oh, I still haven't got back up to the top yet. I think I did some searches on what's in some of the XFCE. Okay, now, XFCE desktop. Go back, I think I skipped it. Yeah, there it is. XFCE desktop. That's what I got there. And then what's that? It just says XFCE desktop again. Okay, it just has the node at the side. Okay, critical path, XFCE. Applications for the XFCE desktop. Apps. I'm not going to add any more because I'm not planning on actually using XFCE desktop just as a backup in case I break Mate and I need a, desktop to multimedia support. That might be good. Well, but I mean, VLC runs on there, and that's what I use for most everything. So there's specific apps written to run, well on lightweight to run. If you had a low resource machine, you might want something like that, to work well on your XFCE desktop. But on this machine, quad core with 4 GB RAM, I can run Mate and the normal apps that I like. That would be Genome 3. When I see Genome, I think of Genome 2. And like, oh, really? Then I go, oh, no, that's Genome 3. Graphical Internet, KDE, K-Desktop, games, again, sound and video, I've already done that. System tools, I did that. Didn't I? System tools, I didn't do it? I think I skipped it by accident. It's in there, I don't know how many times. It looks like I skipped it. That's up towards the top, right? Let's go through. Right in the middle there. It's in there over and over again because of the different ways okay, down there, up there. Okay, I want to do it, but I want to do it up here, up there. I did not. I thought I had done that. I really don't see it, being set up. I'm trying to make sure I do top to bottom so that when I want to see what I glance at it to see what I have in there. Get it right? Yeah. Okay. What happened to system tools? ENF group. Oh, right. That's what's in. I keep pasting that in there and wondering why it doesn't work. Because system tools. Okay, system tools, yeah. Okay, now that's the second time it was in the list. And that's for, no. Okay, this is where I was at then, I guess. Yeah, okay. trying to get back to where I was. Okay, available language groups. No, I don't want any other language. I already have English, and I definitely don't want to accidentally switch languages. I don't even see English. I guess if you're using it, it's not in the list. No, yeah, Ethiopic is the only one that I see that's an E. Of course, if you speak more than one language, you might want that. Okay, group for sister and MD. Okay, group. Okay, now this is the DNF group info section. Now, I think I may be actually about done. I need to go to the bathroom. Something awful. That's when when I say I have to have a break. That's the code for I need to go. GGP. That's my GGP. Got to go pee. I just don't like to say that because some people don't want to hear that. So I just say I need a break. Okay, but I forgot. I just said it. Blurted it out. Okay, thought I was going to be getting in bed pretty early, and it's 8:23. Oh, my. When I started back at this, I thought it was like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, wasn't it? I thought it was. I do that. I just completely lose track of time. At first, the first part of the day seems to go slow, and then the second part goes zip, lightning fast. Okay. Mandatory groups. This is for workstation product environment. I've already looked through here a while ago. Yeah, and I was trying to figure out stuff. Okay. Yeah, I don't want those. I don't want to add any of that stuff. ARM tools. Didn't I already do that? Why can't I type right? Because I don't have I'm not on my home keys. That's what they taught us in typing. Yep, ARM tools. Now, am I back where I was or not? I guess so. Yeah, I took typing in in 7th grade, I think it was. And back then, voice didn't type. Very many boys didn't type. And some people were like, why are you taking typing? And I just thought it was something I wanted to know how to do. I think mostly at the time my mom was a secretary. That's what she did for a living. And I wanted to learn how to do what she, what I saw her doing. She was really good at it, really fast, I want to learn how to do it. And I barely learned and never could be fast. The faster I went, the more mistakes I went. And I used to know what number I got up to. It was terrible. But big old Underwood typewriter, mechanical typewriter. But I tell you what, I understand when people say how they appreciate them. I also understand when people say hard they are to type on. You bang your fingers to death typing on those things. But as I grew up, like when I got a little older and my mom got an electric typewriter, I could type my homework on it sometimes when I was doing I only did it when I was doing writing a paper, and I wanted to make it real neat because I couldn't write clear. My writing was terrible. And then when I was growing up, I'd write resumes. And then when computers came out and I learned enough to write my resumes on the computer, I'm just going back and forth. Now, all these years later, if I hadn't learned to type, I'd still be hunting and pegging with 2 fingers and 2 thumbs, on the computer. So learn to type. Learn whatever it is coming up and coming. There's, I don't know. You never know what's going to happen in the future. But if you have an idea you might want to learn something, go ahead and learn it. I guess I could just say that. Calc. Okay, I've already got all the LibreOffice stuff. That must be what's in LibreOffice. Okay. Hey, DNF, what's in LibreOffice? Well, it's got this and this and this. And pay attention to the optional packages, or you'll think that why aren't they installing when you run your script or your command? Well, they're optional. I'm sure there's some syntax you put in there to say go ahead and do the optional packages as well. But in my case, I really wouldn't have wanted them anyway, so it was all good. The one that it did install, I really couldn't have cared. What was it, Vim or something? Terminal command line text editor. I do want one. I actually would like to have the one that I know how to use, but I can't remember which one it was. I'll have to try the one I installed and see. I got to always try the others if I can't use that one. On Emacs, I remember it, but I think it's hard to use. Although very powerful. I tried years ago. I went early in my Linux days. I really tried hard to learn those things, and I got to where I could use. Well, could use the hard one for a while, but then when you don't use it, you forget. Okay, stop jabbering and finish what you're doing. Group XFCE. What I'm trying to figure out is, how did we go from what's in LibreOffice to just group XFCE? Oh, group info XFCE. There we go. I'll type the commands. Okay. Network manager. Well, I'm going to install that. Okay, so that's what we're going to get. Just okay. Open VPN. SSH genome. There's a lot of genome stuff in there. I guess that's why I'm, it works pretty well for me. It's stuff that I'm used to. And you can make it look like mate, and that's what I always do with it. That way, the layout still looks the same. But then it kind of fools me because I'm trying to right click and do something, and it won't work. Because then I have to go, I'm not in mate. And certain things you can't do in XFCE easily, like in the graphic user interface. You have to go do it in the command line. Now, maybe if I installed all of its add-ons and everything, you might could. And so, like say on my Domain 8 system, well, I think it's running mate. But anyway, if you're running XFCE, you might want to look into all the extra add-ons and everything and see if maybe you need them. It's got plenty of apps and everything that just comes right when you install it. Wow. Bunch of stuff. Make it fully functional. Now then, group does not exist. What group is that? Must have typed something to make it say that. Oh, and then at the end, DNF update. And I think the update part is working, so I think I'm done. I think the update part is working, but it doesn't read out. The output, terminal output's not what I expected. I thought it would say running updates or whatever. I thought it said something to the effect that you're doing an update. But like I said, GGP, bad. So I wanted to run this, but it's 8:30. I really don't want to stay up too late. And I'd have to be stuck with the machine running. So maybe I won't run it tonight. And I really just, if I come back, I come back. But I may not. I said that earlier. But I got to go. I got to go now. So this is Don. And I will see you tomorrow, most likely. Maybe not tonight. All right. Bye-bye.